presentation, I think, so bear with me the last 30 minutes. It will be a presentation together with Saskia and Willeke. They will introduce themselves. And the reason why we're doing this is because I think we have a nice message for you. And I will do the start of the presentation and then hand it over to the two ladies. And also Esther will join us because I had some amazing sound effects also in my presentation, but with streaming we lost that part, so we have to do it simultaneously. When I say yes, you will push the button and then we have some sound as well. So, okay. Before I start, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is André de Koning. Together with Esther, we are the founders of the Dutch organization Kind Beter, which you could translate as Finding a Cure for a Child. We started this in about the year 2018, I believe, if I recall correct. Before I start, I also want to mention is that opposed to the presentation of this morning, where we have seen a very strategic and very a broad targeted program for looking for answers, unraveling the secrets of FOXP1 genes, we are more focusing at solving day-to-day problems. There also we need testing, but we have a different scope, and I think we are at the moment that we can go into drug testing, which is very interesting. So bear with me, join me on the right. We'll explain what we are having found at this moment and what we're doing. Let's start. A bit too much, and in the meanwhile, I lost the mic. That's not interesting. It's not running smoothly. Yeah. But I think you can hear me back or not when I raise my voice. Good. Yeah, the reason why we're here together is the fact that in 2012, our son Fan came to this globe, and it wasn't a particularly smooth delivery. In fact, it was a very difficult delivery. He was strangled, and after a couple of attempts, he really jumped out. We could barely grab him. He almost fell from the ground, and so he had bruises all over his body. And soon after, we had the idea that, well, maybe this deficit of oxygen is the reason why it's different than we thought he would be. As the years went by, we discovered there were more things that were not in line with general expectations. So, well, it wasn't that obvious, but we had question marks, and at a certain stage, we thought, okay, well, maybe we should try to see someone help us out, get answers to the things that we observe. So we went to specialists, one to the other, and you know, we have all been there. That's quite a long process with a lot of question marks and not getting all the answers that you want to have. And in fact, we ended up in the DNA tunnel. And coincidentally, this is a tunnel that is next to the university in Leiden, where we are doing our research. So it was quite an interesting coincidence that this tunnel is called DNA tunnel. And as you all realize, it's a very long tunnel with a lot of dark in it. And you're thinking, okay, when will this end? Will there be light at the end of the tunnel? And that is also how we experienced it. Interesting. Ah. Yeah.
It's tired.
Yeah, the verdict was out. It was the FOXP1 syndrome. And what happened soon after is that there's a black page. Then, okay. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We had this discussion talk with the specialist, and after that she mentioned it's FOXP1. She said, "Enjoy him. Good luck." And we were amazed, like, okay, is this normal? What's happening here? And we didn't know whether to get angry or be confused or finding the right words or asking questions. So when we're standing outside, we thought, maybe she hasn't got a clue. Maybe she doesn't know. Yeah? And that, in fact, was reality. They didn't know what to say, yeah? Because there was no history. So that led to the situation that we have to find it out ourselves. And over the years, we found a lot of things that were not in common with, for instance, how my daughter developed. So, and I think the list is not enough. There's more than this. We realized that if society is not able to help kids with an ultra-rare disease, then you should, as a parent, stand up and say, okay, we're going to make a difference. Easier said than done. But it led to the raise of our foundation after some search that we did. Who can help us out? What should we be doing? How are we going to get money to pay for the research? And yeah, the foundation then came to life. And soon after, it really took off. We had the mentality, yes, we can. So with a lot of energy. So in the evening and the weekends, we were not obsessed, but really putting effort behind it to get things done. And we had also the idea, ultra rare, so what? So why are you not interested in picking up a research or funding this? And soon after we started with a budget of 250K and together with the University of Leiden. And then something amazing happened. A lot of other specialists joined in. So it's gained traction, yeah, not only with specialists, but also with parents. All of a sudden we became the center of information and we knew more about it than a lot of specialists at that moment. And then we created our own programs. Okay, well, besides the genetical research that we want to do, also on a clinical side with Saskia, there's a lot of things that we can do and find answers for parents and kids. And also data collection, where Saskia of Annemie did her presentation earlier to say, we gain a lot of information and insights that are helpful also for practitioners to understand what is going on. So where are we now? And that has to do with, on the clinical side, what you have seen in this presentation. All those information sheets are on the windows, and that's something that's coming out soon. Much more detailed than you can see over there. And on the data side, it's all about the Facebook program. It's going out to the next stage, as you have seen. And on the genetic side, that's the HOPE project. That was the introduction. And the HOPE project is something that is a program for the coming 4 years. Yeah? And how that's going to work and what's behind it. Willeke, can I invite you to explain this?
Thank you very much. So I'm Willeke van Rammel. I work at the Leiden University Medical Center. And yeah, it all started in 2018 with André Nestor coming to visit our department. And with the money that they raised, we did 3 years of basic research, where you've probably heard a little bit about it, the famous organoid models, where you make little mini models of brain tissue in a dish that you can use to study the disease. And it's grown. I think it's not for nothing that we're sitting here, because we're really a team and we're growing. So we started really with the 5 of us, but now with this new project, the team will grow even further. And I think this is totally teamwork. So I think everyone, as we're sitting here, we all contribute equally also to the previous 3 years of research. And yeah, we're very enthusiastic about this new project. So it's called HOPE. I think this is a very appropriate name for this project. So the idea is to, it's not necessarily about finding a treatment for FOXP1, but it's really a stage before that. So trying to find a way so you can test multiple different possible treatments in a really basic cellular model to make it sort of the first selection of what might be a promising drug or not. So this is what we are trying to achieve within this whole project. And I think really we cover everything. We cover the most important disease experts that there are, with clinical experts, experts in the lab, but also technical experts that can make these chips and can, you know, put the biologist and the technician and the technical people there, but also the disease experts. So this is all the previous research that we've done. It's really what was the basis for this project. So these are colorful images of these brain organoids that we will be testing in this platform. So it's a team effort. So Stichting in Beter was instrumental. They were also part of the co-financers of this project. There is a technological partner, PimBio, who will make the chips. Of course, Radboud, where Saskia is working, and the LUMC, where we have the expertise of doing the measurements. And we're doing this for FOXP1, but I really think that this is a platform that will be applicable for many, many rare brain diseases where you can do this. So we're really, of course, we're really doing this for FOXP1, but we really believe it has a much broader impact. I forgot what the no-no was for. We had the same thing yesterday.
Accidentally, we're not using animals for testing.
Oh.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we're finance our research.
Honestly, really, I asked the executive yesterday, and I see the red, and I go, like, what's it again? Yeah, so really important. The FOXP1, so that is a foundation in the Netherlands that supports research that does not use animals for research. But also, I think here, where's the family Bronsvelling sitting here somewhere in the room? There you are. Yeah, so the husband works at a company, Technoplast, and through them we also got an additional funding, so we can do extra work with that type of money. So I think, you know, it really shows it's the same with the whole FOXP1 research that we've been doing in the Netherlands. It just keeps getting bigger and more beautiful. So we're really grateful for everyone's support. And yeah, so this is the amount of money that we have now. So we can now really conduct 4 years worth of research, and I think we really can make a real difference with this project. I think we will go over this. Everyone is too tired to read. So we will just go to Saskia. She can. I want to also do it here.
Ja, hier. Ja, ik doe het hier vast. Deze intelligence test.
So I skip a lot of slides to keep you all awake. So my part of the project will be to prepare for clinical trials to test that compounds that will be selected by the experiments Willeke is doing. I have a background in clinical pharmacology as well, and I did some studies in another rare disease. And therefore, I think that, we are still not there. There's a lot to prepare. And so if you want to have a therapy tested, a lot needs to be done. Of course, you want to only expose families to correct clinical trials. So if beforehand, before you perform the trial, you already know that you don't know what the result will be if you do a test, for example, a measurement of an important symptom, and you don't know if the test can reliably measure that symptom, maybe you shouldn't perform it in a clinical trial, but test the test beforehand. So I think the quality of a trial really depends on the measurement instrument that you are using. And that is what I will be doing the coming 4 years. I will select instruments that can measure the important symptoms of FOXP1 syndrome. And I think in the past 2 days, I had a lot of inspiration by all the stories that were told and all the parents I spoke to. And if we have the important or the instruments that we can measure the important symptoms with, I think we should have some measurements before we start the trial, because we know that symptoms might fluctuate, and also normal development might influence the the outcome of the measurements. So that is what I will do the coming 4 years. So maybe you will be bothered by me with testings or questionnaires or a request for other data, and I hope you will all participate in those studies.
Yeah, this is how a small device where we have the organoids in looks like. There's the name Hope on this as well. So to make it clear again, what we want to do is all the symptoms that we have, find what drugs could make sure that we are minimizing those consequences of the FOXP1 effect in daily life. So we're trying to find, for instance, for sleep or for anxiety, a one-to-one drug system, and in that stage we are now. I think that's very exciting. No promises, it's just hard work figuring out and make sure that we are getting there. So the big budget is helping out there, and we have also a new team being set up to gonna work on that. So we will keep you informed about our progress and the steps that we're making. So it means sort of light in the end of the tunnel as we see it. Yeah. And yeah, it will be a long journey, but we have the idea with the intermediate steps we're taking now that we can absolutely bring some hope to our families. Yeah. Next step into the research objective of our foundation. He's already happy, he'll stay happy, and maybe you can help him out on some other issues that he's facing in his life, and at the same time also your kids. That being said,
Oh, there's something over there. I don't know what it is. When we were making the presentation, we were looking up for words to describe what we were feeling when we wanted to describe the Hope project, and we just were looking up words to describe it. Hope is the desire for something combined with the anticipation that it may come true. In short, hope is the anticipation of something deeply desired. To hope is to want something and to believe, rightly or wrongly, but that it could happen. But when something starts to feel within reach, it's no longer just hope, because it might become a reality. And that, I think, is what describes perfectly the way we feel about the Hope project, not just to find a cure, but to find a better life for our kids, I think. And then we're up to the last part, just some last words from us, and then it's really finished.
So, well, I said already earlier, Esther and I met when we first heard about Pippa's diagnosis. And since then, our bond has transferred from fellow FOXP1 parents into co-organizers of this conference and into a very close friendship. We've reached a point where we finish each other's sentences and jokingly call ourselves Quick and Quack, and that's Dutch, but for in English it's Huey, Dewey and Louie, someone has told me. So it feels only natural to shape this closing statement in that same spirit.
Yeah, so we have to share the mic. When we volunteered 2 years ago, that was sort of an impulse, I think. And we said, okay, we are going to organize the conference in Europe. We could not have imagined that we would have been here with so many people.
So over the past 2 days, we've learned so much about FOXP1, about the latest research and therapies, about how our children learn, play and grow and surprise us. But maybe even more than that, that we've learned how powerful we are when we come together as a community.
Over these past few days, we also felt something really powerful. Shared bond, an energy that inspires action. The energy of all these parents that traveled so far and professionals coming together, not just to talk, but to truly want to make a difference and to inspire.
So this conference was never just about presentations or data. It was about connection. For many of us, living with a rare condition like FOXP1 can feel very isolating. But here, for a brief moment, we are not rare. We are not alone. We've seen researchers being inspired by families, parents encouraged by professionals, siblings making new friends over at the base camp, volunteers giving everything they have. So this spirit of coming together or listening to each other or building bridges, it is what will carry us forward. A few thank you are in order, and we will try to keep it brief. And it's not in order of importance, but just the way it came up. Thank you to all the speakers, to the researchers who shared their time and insights. Thank you to all the parents who traveled, some from very, very far, to be here to share their own experiences. Thank you to all the volunteers, especially over at Base Camp, because they are doing the hard job today. And all the organizers who make this event run smoothly. A special thanks to our friend Sylvia, who has done such a magnificent job in arranging the kids program. So if you see her tonight at dinner, be sure to thank her. Thanks to the Leonardo Hotel and especially Desiree in particular, who helped us out so wonderfully the last months, but we came to know a lot more people here in the Leonardo and everyone was so friendly and helpful. Thanks to our sponsors, of course, Kim Peter, the NWO. I'm not gonna. Yeah, it's a Dutch organization who sponsors scientific research days. So they're sponsoring us. The Vijand Fonds, which sponsored our Kim Peter research in the past before, and of course, especially the FOXP1 Foundation. Without the generous contribution of the foundation, we could not have been here. So thank you very much. And I'm forgetting, I knew I was forgetting some. Thank you to Manuel for all his translation and streaming and technical stuff that we don't know anything about. Thank you. Thank you to Timea. I don't know where you are. I don't know if she's here. She helped out a lot with doing the activities and the play things for the kids, but even brought her sister along to take care of the kids. So thank you. And most of all, thank you to the children and the young adults with FOXP1. You're the reasons why we are here today.